If you have built a real business, you have the credibility, you have the results, and the idea of showing up on social media every single day makes you want to close your laptop, you cringe, you want to maybe go live on a farm somewhere, this episode is definitely for you because you definitely do not need to love social media. And I'm going to be honest, I have a love-hate relationship with it. I always have. But you do have to market yourself. And today I'm going to show you exactly what that can look like without losing your mind or your dignity. Let's get into it. You're listening to the Secret Marketing Diary of Personal Brands, where being the face of your business gets to be powerful, profitable, and unfiltered. Okay, so I just want to say something that I think a lot of people in my world are thinking, but nobody is giving them permission to actually say out loud. Social media is exhausting. I said it. And I live, eat, breathe, eat social media, online marketing all day long. I mean, while I'm sleeping, I'm sometimes thinking about it. Not for myself, but because I have a responsibility to my clients. And so I have a love-hate relationship with it, but, okay, there's a big but. It doesn't need to be as exhausting and overwhelming as many of us make it to be. But here's the thing, it moves super fast. It changes constantly. Like at the time that this is being recorded, by the time this comes out, there's probably like a whole new algorithm on one of the platforms. And if you didn't grow up with it like myself, if you built your career and your reputation long before anyone was doing reels, right? Or dancing on TikTok or posting selfies with a caption about their morning routine or what they ate for lunch or for dinner, it can feel like you landed on a planet where everyone else got the instruction manual except for you. And that's not true. So here's what I want you to know. That feeling is completely valid. You are not behind. You are not broken. You are not too old or too late or too established to figure this out. You are just someone like myself who built something real the real way through relationships, through expertise, through showing up and delivering results. And now you're being told that none of that counts unless you have a content strategy and a posting schedule and a presence on 4 platforms. If you've heard me talk about the 7-11-4 rule, I talk about 4 platforms, but here's the thing. It's not 4 social media platforms that I'm talking about. Okay. So I call nonsense to all of that. But here's what I do need to also share. And I'm going to say this with love because this is the part that I think really matters, that doing nothing is not an option if your goal is to scale and grow your business from where it's at right now. Okay. So if you want your business to grow, if you want premium clients to find you, if you want your authority to extend way beyond your existing network and the referrals that come from it, you have to market yourself. There's no way around that. That is not negotiable. What is negotiable is how. And so today I want to give you 2 tracks. Actually, I have a bonus track for you. So I'm going to give you 3 tracks. Okay. Track 1 is for the person who is genuinely not ready for social media, or I mean, you are adamant, I just don't want to be there. I'm not going to do it. Okay. Track 2 is for the person who's willing to try it, maybe hire, hopefully, right? I mean, really, if you are at a level in your business where you are, because typically the people that come into my world, they are established, they have been in business for decades. Okay. If you're at that level, you should be hiring people to help you with this. But there is still that personal side, right? So this is going to be for track 2 people. All right. But what I want to do is I want to strip it all the way back to something that actually feels manageable for you. Okay. And then the third one is a bonus one. You'll get that one at the end. Either way, there is a path forward and it does not require that you become someone that you are not. Okay. So before we get into any one of those tracks, I want to give you something that I don't think anyone has actually given you yet. And that is permission. You do not have to be on social media. I'm going to say that again. You do not have to be on social media. I said it. And I mean it. Social media is a tool. It is a tremendously powerful tool. And I teach people how to use it every single day, but it is not the only tool. And it is definitely not the only path to visibility, to authority, and to consistent clients at your level. What you do have to do is to be findable. You have to be known. You have to find a way for the right people to discover you, to trust you, to take that next step toward working with you. That is marketing. How you do it, that's up to you. So let's look at what those options actually are. Okay. So track one, you are not on social media, or maybe you are, but like you rarely post, right? Personally, you definitely aren't sharing anything about your business and you don't want to be. You're looking for other ways to build visibility and attract clients. So here's what actually will work at your level. The first thing is speaking. So if you have a real expertise, a real credibility, and I'm sure that you do, speaking is one of the most powerful visibility strategies available to you. And I'm not just talking about keynote stages, although those are definitely great. I'm talking about podcasts as a guest, online summits, chamber of commerce events, industry associations, Rotary clubs, private networking groups. Create your own networking group, masterminds where your ideal clients are already gathering together. Okay. Every time you speak in front of a room, in person or virtually, you are doing what social media is trying to do, but you're actually doing it faster and with more depth. You're demonstrating your expertise in real time. You're building trust on the spot. And you're putting yourself directly in front of those people who are already interested in what you do. So one speaking engagement can do what months of social media posting cannot accomplish. And for someone with your background and your credibility, getting booked is not as hard as you actually think. It starts with reaching out. It starts with being personal, and you want to find those organizations or those rooms where your ideal clients already are. I mean, Google, that's it. A Google search is one of the easiest ways to do this. Okay. Another one that I love is going to be LinkedIn. And with AI, honestly, you can build or have someone build you an agent that finds these speaking opportunities. So it's really not hard. I mean, you could do this in literally minutes. The second way is having strategic partnerships and referral systems. So this is going to be really great for you if you are an established founder or expert. You're already doing this accidentally and you don't even realize it. You just probably don't have a system put together for this, but you have a network, right? You have relationships, you have people who know what you do and they have seen your results firsthand. So the question is, do they know exactly who to refer you to and when? Do they know what your ideal client looks like? Do they know what to say when someone asks if they know anyone who does what you do? And building a strategic referral system is really not complicated. It's all about being intentional and specific with the people in your world about who you help, how you help them, and what it looks like when someone is ready for you. So one conversation with the right referral partner can be worth 6 months of content, right? Like if we're comparing content, 6 months of social media content versus a referral partner. Okay. A third way is by email marketing. I know email feels old, right? But it is actually still one of the most powerful tools that you have access to, especially at your level, because people on your email list have actively chosen to hear from you. They're not scrolling past you. They opted in. Now, sure, you are going to have inactive subscribers on your email list. Take them off. It's okay. All right. There's also really great wording language that you can use to send out an email to activate your audience as well. But you don't need a massive list. You just need a warm one. A few hundred people who actually want to hear from you is worth more than 10,000 followers who have no idea who you are. Believe me. So I suggest one email a week at minimum. You share your insights, your perspective, a story from your work, maybe that week, a case study, a client testimonial, a lesson from your experience. That is it. Do that consistently, and that builds more trust than most social media strategies ever will. But you have to have an active list. Another one is LinkedIn. So, yes, LinkedIn is considered a social media platform, but I wanted to throw this one in here because you can use it really simply. So, it doesn't work the same way that Instagram and TikTok or even Facebook are on social media. Okay. It's a professional network. And at your level with your background, it is one of the most natural places to show up. You don't even need to post daily. In fact, there are studies that show that if you post more than once, or if you post 7 times a week on LinkedIn, it actually hurts your reach on there. You do not need to go viral. You do not need reels or dancing or trending audio, although I will say showing your face on a short form video definitely goes a long way, but you don't have to. What you do need is a profile that clearly communicates who you are and who you serve. And you need to show up occasionally with something worth saying. Okay. So you do need to have like one post up there per week. That is not a lot. And by the way, if you're using AI the correct way and it knows tons about you, you could whip this up in literally seconds. But it needs to come from a place of authority. And that is really the LinkedIn strategy that works for someone at your level without this having to feel like you have to become a content creator. Now, here's the part that I need you to really listen to clearly. Okay. All of this takes work. There's still real work involved. You need to be organized, focused, and consistent. None of these paths are passive. Nobody is just going to come to you. Okay. They don't just run themselves, and none of them will produce results if you treat them like an afterthought. So the difference between someone who grows and someone who stays stuck is not which strategy they choose, honestly. It's whether they actually show up and execute it consistently. So the good news for you is that it doesn't have to be all you. Okay. There are things on this list like sending outreach emails, managing your referral follow ups, maintaining your LinkedIn profile, the formatting, the scheduling of your weekly emails that are $10 an hour tasks. And there are hundreds of thousands of people in this world who would take that off your plate in a heartbeat. A part-time virtual assistant, a junior marketing coordinator, an intern, someone that you can train to handle the execution while you handle the strategy and the actual relationships that you're building. But somebody has to do it. That's the point. And that is a non-negotiable. So you can choose to do it yourself, or you can choose to delegate it. What you can't do is pretend that it does not need to happen and then wonder why your business isn't growing. I know that that bubble is comfortable, but it's also keeping you invisible, and invisible is not going to actually pay you and bring revenue in. Okay. All right. So the second track. And this is if you are open to social media, but you need someone to strip it all the way back to something that does not consume your life or make you feel like an idiot online. And here's how I think about this, because I fall into this personally, and this is what I do for a living, but it does not consume my life. Okay. I literally am in and I am out. So I want you to concentrate on one social media platform. That is it. Not four, not two. One. The one where you feel more comfortable with. Okay. Think about it that way, as well as, or actually, if you don't care which one you get on, but you definitely know you don't want to be dancing on video. Not four, not two, just one. The one where either you're super comfortable with it or you don't really care. You just want to go where your ideal clients are most likely to find you, like right now. Okay. So for most of the established experts that I work with, Facebook or LinkedIn or Substack, which is becoming a new favorite of mine, is a great place to start. But just pick one. Then you expand if and when you want to. So trying to be everywhere is going to be overwhelming. And if you are just deciding, like you're committing to being on social media, you don't want the fastest way to burn out and quit. And you will burn out and quit if you're trying to be everywhere all at once. So one platform done consistently will always outperform 4 platforms done randomly. Okay. Now, I'm going to suggest one type of content. You do not have to do video. I'm going to stop right there. Although that would be what I would encourage you to do, because from one video, you can actually pull tons of other content from that that's not video. You don't have to do reels. You don't have to do live videos, right? You don't have to do pointing at words on a screen, no trending audio, none of that. If the idea of getting on camera makes you want to close your laptop and never open it again, do not do it. Now, if the idea of getting on camera makes you nervous and you're willing to learn it, then learn it and let's talk. Okay. But don't let that stop you. I do want to be honest with you, though, to understand what comes with that choice. Okay. With the choice of not showing up on camera. If you're only posting written content and you feel like people are not really connecting with you, not really responding, not reaching out to work with you, that is not a mystery. Video builds connection faster than anything else because people can see you, they hear your voice, they feel your energy, and decide whether they can trust you or not, like literally in just a few seconds. So written content can absolutely work, but it does take longer to build that same depth of trust. So if you choose written only, choose it understanding that it's going to take a bit longer, but also know that you need to give it the time that it needs to compound. And the thing that I really want you to take in is that social media is called social media for a reason. The posts, the content, the captions, all of that is only a part of it, right? The other part of it that most people skip entirely, which by the way, if you didn't skip this piece I'm going to tell you right now, you actually wouldn't even have to post as often. It's the part of actually being social. And that is the part that so many people skip. Or the ones that don't skip it are only being social with their friends and family because it feels comfortable, rather than building a network or a community around their brands and then being social with those people. So you do not have to show your face on video to build relationships on social media. What you do need to do, though, is you have to talk to people. Leave real comments on other people's content. Respond thoughtfully, like genuinely, when someone comments on yours. Send a genuine message to someone who just connected with you. Like if someone accepted a friend request or you accepted their friend request, send them a personal message that thanks them. Hey, thanks so much for being in my Facebook world. Just wanted to say hi and be social since we're on social media. Have an amazing day. That's it. Okay. Check in with a warm lead who went quiet. Start conversations that have nothing to do with selling anything. Maybe it's just something that you noticed on their profile. That is social media done right. And it does not require a ring light or a camera or a script or a perfectly curated aesthetic. It just requires you to show up as a real human being and treat people like they are worth your time, because they are. And honestly, that more than any post you will ever write will turn a follower into a client. So one of the things that I teach and that I do in my business as well is what I call the Ignite Power Hour. And this is a one focused hour done daily. It's exactly what it sounds like. One focused, intentional hour of marketing activity done with a sequence. It's very clear and a clear purpose. You're not scrolling through social media. You're not guessing. You're not spending 3 hours convincing yourself to write a caption or even to show up on video. You are doing specific, small things in a very specific order for 60 minutes, and then you are done. So you are in and out. 15 minutes of engaging with other people's content before you post your own. That's one part of it. 15 minutes of creating and posting one piece of content for that day. 15 minutes of having real conversations in the DMs or reaching out personally to someone in your network. Okay. And then the last is 10 minutes of making clear offers or following up on an existing conversation. And then 5 minutes of working your follow-up list. That is it. That is a complete marketing cycle inside of the 1 hour. And for someone who doesn't want social media to be a second job, this is how it does not become one. Okay, so I said I had 2 tracks and a bonus. So here's the bonus track. All right. Because I think I would be doing you a disservice if I didn't mention this. If you want to skip, like completely skip the slow build and you want to compress the timeline and you want to get in front of the right people faster, then organic content and referrals will do that for you. There's a way to do that. Paid traffic. That's advertising. That's putting actual dollars towards content and allowing the social media platform to find the right people for you based on interests that you're providing. Or, I mean, Meta's doing an amazing job right now with how they're using Andromeda to help us as advertisers to find our ideal clients through paid traffic. But before you completely assume that this is not for you, hear me out for a second, okay? Paid traffic is not just for e-commerce. It's not just for course creators with massive audiences. It works incredibly well with established founders, experts, consultants, professional service providers at your level. Actually, I would say that it works better and faster and with less money because you have the credibility, you have the results, you have the authority to back it up. You just need the actual visibility. So here's how I think about this in its simplest form, okay? You create a small amount of content. Yes, some content still needs to exist. There is no like completely going around that, okay? Then you put a small budget behind it to get that content in front of the right people faster than the algorithm will take your content there. And we're not talking about boosting random posts and hoping that something sticks. We're talking about a strategic paid traffic campaign built around your positioning, your ideal client, with a clear next step for the people who see it. The investment is a real thing. It's not going to be free. And I want to be straight with you because I have so many people who throw money at ads with no foundation underneath it and no process and wonder why it didn't work. Paid traffic will amplify what is already there. It does not create what is missing. Okay. So you do need to have your positioning to be clear. Your message needs to be sharp and there needs to be somewhere for people who click to actually go. But when those things are in place and for someone at your level, they often already are, or you're close to having it, right? You're close to having your messaging sharp, your positioning sharp. You know the next step that people are going to take. Paid traffic can do in 30 days or less what organic alone may take 6 months to a year or years to actually accomplish. So it is an investment and you need to treat it like one. Go in with a strategy, a budget that you can sustain, and we can help you with that sort of thing. And then have realistic expectations about the timeline. I will tell you this, if your account has never run ads before, there's going to be some nuances because the algorithm needs to get to know what kind of people are actually interacting with your ads to show that to more of the same people, right? So there's behaviors that it needs to learn about not just you and your messaging, which is really important, but also the audience that you're trying to attract. So if you want to know what that actually looks like inside of your specific business, that's exactly the kind of work that we do inside of the agency at Hype Media. And the fastest path, sometimes, especially when you're using paid traffic, is not doing more. It's being smarter about where you are putting your resources. Okay, so I want to leave you with this today. The goal is not virality. The goal is not a massive following. The goal is not to become a content creator or an influencer or whatever else the internet is telling you that you need to be. The goal is visibility to the right people. And at your level, with your credentials, your track record, your network, and your actual expertise, you do not need to reach millions. You need to reach the right hundreds or even the right dozens. Premium clients do not come from going viral. They come from trust. And trust is built with consistency, through presence, through demonstrating your expertise in whatever way feels most natural to you, whether that's speaking in front of a group, whether that's connecting with someone on LinkedIn, whether that is being social on social media, whether that is running paid traffic. You have spent decades earning the right to be in the rooms you are in. The work now is making sure that people who need you can actually find you and understand why you are the right person for them. That is marketing, however you choose to do it. So, what I gave you today are the tracks and the tactics. What I didn't give you is the specific system built around your business, your audience, and your specific situation, because each platform is right for you, what your content should actually sound like, how to build a referral system around your specific network, how to use the Ignite Power Hour inside of your actual schedule. That is the kind of work that we do together. If you want help figuring out which path makes the most sense for you, where you are right now, DM me, find a way to reach out to me, and send me the word market on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. I don't know, respond to my email, wherever it is that you can connect with me. And I will personally take a look at what you have going on. We'll coordinate a time and we can jump on a brand audit call together. Okay. You built something real. You have expertise that took you decades to earn. You have the results that most people in your space can't even touch. You have the relationships and credibility that money cannot buy. You do not owe the internet a daily performance, but you do owe it to yourself and to the people who need you to stop being invisible. So pick a path, start where you are, do it consistently. And if you need help figuring out what that looks like for you, you know exactly where to find me. So make sure to DM me the word market. Let's map it out together. I'll see you on the next one. You're listening to the Secret Marketing Diary of Personal Brands, where being the face of your business gets to be powerful, profitable, and unfiltered.